Well, Marvel, you finally got a winner. Yeah, this is Hassa from House of Years here. Talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, which I saw 2 days ago in a special early release. And obviously it's now out and it's been getting a lot of praise and yeah, kind of rightfully so. This is oh God. It's definitely a return to form for the MCU. I mean, with the recent failures they've had over these last couple of years with the multiverse saga, it's good to see something that they finally a film that's actually getting a lot of audience praise and critical praise as well. Yeah, there's a bit of a difference. I think maybe last time I checked it was about 16% difference between the audience recommendation and critical recommendation on the tomato meter, I think it was. But yeah, it's still really good. Obviously, this is the first X-Men movie to be really as be part of the MCU. It's with and obviously they chose Dead. Obviously, it's Deadpool and the return of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine as well, and a bunch of other things as well. Jeez, I guess we should just at least start with the plot. So, taking place 6 years after the events of Deadpool 2, uh, Wade Wilson has retired from being the Merc of Mouth and seems to have settled down and living a peaceful life with his friends and family, or basically his close ones. The agents of the TVA, from which you may remember from Loki, abduct Wade and very much invite and give him the option to integrate himself in the MCU, the timeline, aka Earth 616, by giving him a new suit and the opportunity to find a place in this new reality, while and leave his old one, which is doomed to be eradicated. Obviously, this Angus Wilson, and with his new, after learning that in order to save his timeline, he needs a or his universe, he needs to get an anchor. He needs a new Wolverine. He heads off across. He goes on a multiversal travel to find a new Wolverine, settling on one who is pretty much a loner and considered the worst Wolverine because he let down his X Men team. Um, of course, and when when both end up in the void, they must rely on each other to escape from it, all while avoiding many different, all while trying to get to know each other and avoiding the grasp of the evil Cassandra Nova, the uh, the twin sister of one universe's Charles Xavier. So yeah, I think the biggest issue that many people have is that the story does take a little slow to get going. Like I think it takes about maybe I don't know 10 minutes for it after we get for the plot to really start get going when the TVA agents kidnap Deadpool. But you know, in general, it's still I don't know. I think with this, considering the amount of time and all the cameos in it, so I'm willing to let it slide a bit, just this once, because when it does get going, boy does it get going. Like, I mean, I love a lot of these things in it. The humor is fantastic. It's as close as any as it can get to the previous Deadpool movies. It's still rated mature, MA for here in Australia. Why isn't it rated R? Like in America, I wish. I have many qualms with the Australian classification board, but I'm not gonna go over that here. The action scenes are great. Some are pretty small in comparison when you've got fights like say Deadpool using hit a dead body to attack to kill TVA agents, or we've got the two fights between Deadpool and Wolverine. One a barren wasteland with 20th Century Fox logo in the background, which you obviously see in the trailers, and one that takes place in a cut in an old car. But you know everything gets going and you know it builds up to the climax and everything. It's great. The soundtrack, the songs they chose, fantastic. I was hoping that Donna's Like a Prayer would be used much like it was used in the trailers, and I was glad to see it show to hear it. It just fits so well, and I'm not going to go on about it. It's just yeah, that trailer just that song works so well for the trailer, and I'm just pleased it was in the actual film. The acting is great. Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, they're both fantastic and do share a good chemistry with each other. Fans were obviously waiting for this for a very long time, and it does give, it's pretty rewarding. All the other actors are good too. Um, I, I think I think some of the, I think if there is a few actors, maybe some of the ones who do play cameos of other Fox Marvel characters, maybe, but I'm not. They're just sort of in and out, but none of the main ones are that bad. Um, with the cameos, I'm not going to go over who shows up in which, though. If you've seen the film, you obviously know. Obviously, the ones they've already confirmed are in it. So Jennifer Garner is Elektra. Um, X23. So Laura Keane, I think that's her name. Yeah, she's in it. It was confirmed that I'm not going to go over that. I don't watch soccer too much, but yeah, yeah. The ones that are confirmed are in it, and they're in it for about the right amount. The surprising ones are great. Um, there are some that they obviously mention. There is one joke when with what they think is one character showing up, but it obviously isn't, and some other jokes here and there about with Reynolds complaint with Deadpool complaining to the audience about budget cuts not the MCU not being able to pay these actors to come in. Yeah, there is one that I'm not going to say who it is, but it's treated more like a joke when he shows up and how he exits. Not until the post credit scene, which there is only one, and it's actually confirmed that actually did happen. So I'm okay with it. And they do treat the cameos right. With enough respect. In fact, at the very end, during the credits, they do a tribute montage of the making of the other X-Men movies and the fun the actors and the crew all had making them. So it is treated well enough. They're not just laughed at and made fun of. There is a degree of respect to them, and you gotta give credit to both Reynolds and especially Sean Levy for his direction and treating them right. I mean, I was quite impressed with how Sean Levy directed this. I mean, I've liked a lot of his films. The Night Museum trilogy, probably I'm not actually a real big fan of them. They have their moments, but yeah, they're sort of in my eyes. I really liked how he and Reynolds did well working together with Free Guy, and yeah, I thought he handled this pretty well, and I know the Deadpool tradition is there's a new director for each and every film. Tim Miller directed the first film. I forget who directed the second one. But it is hinted that Sean Levy does want to stay on and make a sequel to this, and I think it's well worth it, especially if you know him, Reynolds, and Jackman get their wish about doing a collab Deadpool film with Spider-Man. I would really like that. Yeah. Um, I don't know if Tom Holland would want to do it. I think he would, but I don't know. If there are a few nitpicks, I've already mentioned the slow opening. Uh, I should mention with Spider-Man, there is a scene where Deadpool at the very beginning where Deadpool actually goes to Earth 616 using Cable's uh time machine or time powers after which he inherited in Deadpool 2, and he interacts with one character, and you see in his office the picture of Tony Stark with Peter Parker, um, with the Stark scholarship that you saw in Endgame. And okay, I think you can kind of guess who it is, but um, my only problem with that is they blank out Peter Parker's image with an Iron Man helmet. And at first I was thinking, what time is this happening? Is this taking place in um 2018, which is obviously when Deadpool 2 ended, or they jumped forward to 2024 when where everyone's had their memory erased of Peter Parker and just only know Spider-Man. Um, obviously it's confirmed to be 2018, but I did have to do some research, and I know it's probably just because of the Sony Spider-Man licensing that they had to do that, but I don't know. I just wish that could have actually been shown. Like if they okay, name dropping Spider-Man every now and then. Surely you can show Tom Holland's image every now and then too. But I don't know how the production works. Um, Obviously, with this, you see a lot of variants in this, and obviously the you obviously know about the Deadpool variants. You already know about people already know about Dogpool, Lady Deadpool, Samurai Deadpool. I think was confirmed as well. They're all in it. There are Wolverine variants as well, but they don't necessarily. They're only really shown in the montage where Wade Wilson's trying to find a Deadpool to replace, we're trying to find a Wolverine to replace the dead one in his universe. Obviously, the one who the Wolverine that we saw die in Logan. Um, yeah, those are good cameos in the variants, including the big cameo at the very end before he meets the Wolverine of this film. But that's the only time you see them, and I was like, I don't know, I would have liked more show up, including the Void. I just wish we could have seen at least maybe one more variant or something like that. But I know it's implied that there's no Wolverines in the Void apparently, according to Cassandra Nova. So yeah, but I still would have maybe like a surprise here and there. And I guess the only other thing is with the TVA agent who kidnaps Wade Deadpool and obviously sends him and Wolverine to the Void, Paradox. Um, I mean, he's okay in this, but um, if you know the comics, you know he's a variant of a specific character that we've already got to know, and they don't actually. The thing is, they don't actually confirm if they're doing that with this. If it's actually that variant of that character, maybe it's because of how the ending they gave to this character already. But I don't know. I would have liked if they actually did stick with the comics and confirm that he is that variant. I'm just like, this is what I'm okay if they actually did do. I really thought I would have liked that because it would have been, a good comparison. With how he's dealt with at the end by the TVA, bringing the actual variants and bringing the original variant and do something like that. I just wish they could have done that with him. But that's really about it. I think Deadpool Wolverine is great. I was, I had a feeling this would succeed, but it definitely won me over big time. It's definitely one of the funniest films I've seen in theaters in a very long time. Good return to form for the MCU, for the Marvel Studios, I should say. Obviously, this is, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with the future with obviously the X-Men and the MCU. I mean, when it comes to how they're going to in uh add 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 them further to the continuity. Starting off with the actors, obviously we've had Reynolds and obviously with along with Reynolds and Jackman in this and all the other X-Men actors as well. We've seen a few of them show up. Obviously, there was the whole uh, Evan Peters Quicksilver joke in WandaVision. You had Patrick Stewart returns Charles Xavier in Multiverse of Madness. And of course Kelsey Grammer briefly Peters Beast in the Marvels post credit mid credit scene. Um, um, I'm okay if they bring some back of the actors back, but not all of them. Just bring new blood in there, new people in there. Have some in it. Like I'm okay if Jackman and Reynolds keep their roles and in this in for the for the X Men team that will be a part of the MCU's timeline, but they bring in new actors and have them train them, something like that. That could be something. And obviously, I would like to see more of these actors. And obviously, with Deadpool and Wolverine, I would like to see the other characters. I mean, yeah, it would be cool to see Jackman go up against Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, and who knows, man, there might be maybe that could be a tease at the end of Captain America 4 next year. Obviously, they want to do something with Spider-Man, and I'm okay with that. I like to see that. Um, I would, whether or not, I don't know if it would be a good idea to have Deadpool meet up with She-Hulk. Or I guess it could be something. I don't know. That could really improve everything with that. And there's some other characters that will also really fit in, really like to see. I mean, they did a lot of jokes with Thor. How did that happen? Um, yeah, there's obviously Doctor Strange. There's a lot you can really do, but don't you just? But of course, they got to first figure out who of the remain of these remaining movies, who will be the main heroes who will have knowledge of the multiverse going into Avengers 5 and 6. Um, and yeah, it's exciting times to see what they can do. Of course, this is the only MCU movie this year. There's still the TV series. I mean, uh, uh, I'm optimistic about Agatha. I'm excited to see what Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man's like. Um, Everything else, though, I'm not sure if it's officially confirmed to be coming out this year, so only time will tell. But in the end, for this, I give it an 8.7 out of 10 hat stars. Funny film, all the way, should be enjoyable, definitely a crowd pleaser. Watch it if you're 15, 15 and upwards, or I don't know, I'm sure 14, there's some 14-year-olds who are going to sneak in and see it, but yeah, it's a fun ride. You won't be disappointed. Um, Coming up for what's next on my review channel, I think it should be a pretty big project I'm trying to get done. Um, as for films getting released in theaters, there is a few that next month that I am interested in seeing, including I think this will be a certainty. I'll hopefully try to review M. Night Shyamalan's newest movie, which will be my first Shyamalan movie I'll see in theaters. Yeah, I want to have a bit of experience with Shyamalan on the big screen. Especially after how my first attempt would have been old, but pandemic obviously wrecked that. But it's all good. Hopefully this one will I get good Shyamalan or crazy Shyamalan. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, well, but that's then. Hopefully my big project will come out first. But in the meantime, Hazard from Reviews is out, and I shall see you next time. Ciao.